Welcome back to NGTV Play Super Smash Bros. 4 featuring Suspense per co-host Mats. I don't know who I want to play. I haven't played this Ganondorf yet.
Ugh. You're blood Ganon, dude.
No, I'm not. I'm orange Ganon.
No, you're blood.
No, I'm fucking orange. Oh, I'm blood.
Blood, dude.
Okay.
Jeez, don't even know your own Ganon.
Well, he has orange hair. I keep forgetting. Fucking God.
Oh my fucking God.
That move, man, though. Like, holy shit. It's a cool move.
But if you miss it, GG. That's how I fight in real life.
Yeah.
Just throw out hitboxes.
That's not how real life works. I think I've heard this song before. Nope, forgot. Can't fucking jump after your goddamn down B. After years of that being a thing, now all of a sudden, nope. Wonder if the Smash 4, I mean, if they ever do it, if the Smash 4 cracked Project M version would be called Smash for Me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean... Oh,
I'm glad that mistake worked out. You know, just to keep going on with the... It was like Smash Project M, Smash 4 Project M, Smash for Wii U, Smash for Me, Melee, M.
Man, I get it.
I was just going through my thought process.
What the fuck? Did you see me like float towards it?
Yeah.
Does your thing have a thing? Stop it. Fuck off.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, it has a wind box. Wait,
It's up tilt.
I know.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
I never knew that before either. Such a bad move usually. I
like,
just can't time it. You know the whole 10,000 hours thing? Do something for 10 like 10,000 hours of like concentrated practice or something like that. Then you can become a master at something.
Yeah.
Well, turns out that that was just basically.
It's funny that you should mention that because Doctor Who was talking about that the other day.
Basically, like,
Jesus fucking Christ.
that never was a problem before. Now all of a sudden it's like a deal. There for a while I avoided that move like the plague a little bit better than I am right now. But apparently that was done. That was like this pop like psychologist guy came up with that like a while back, maybe like 15 years ago or something, maybe longer. I don't know how long ago it was, but turns out that like there's a bunch of studies that basically like prove that shit to be like not true at all. And then apparently and they're able to come up with like percentages on like what percent of people actually made like significant improvements by following that particular like thought process versus other people. And they even like took it as far as to test just practice in general. And they're saying that like it does like first off, it's not like a catch-all thing. Like it doesn't apply to everything. Not everything. Like a profession isn't going to improve if you do 10,000 hours of continued. I keep thinking I can jump afterwards. Like a profession is never going to improve like that. I'm never going to get better at my job by like just working really hard for 10,000 hours straight.
How long is 10,000 hours in days and years?
Well, 24 hours in a day.
Press
24.
start.
Sorry. Okay. I'm not gonna try to do that shit in my head because that would be shitty. Okay, so are you gonna look it up? 24
No.
times 7 equals 168.
Checking my email.
Clear. 24 times. Let's do 30. Oh, how many days in a year? 365. That's so much easier. 24 times 365. 8,760 hours in a year.
Okay, so like a year and a little bit.
But that's like all day, every day. You know? So like they proved it wrong by first saying that it doesn't apply to everything, and secondly stating that even things like learning music, it only like practice only improves musicianship. They were saying by like 21%, versus like there was a couple of like factors like as far as how much it like so greatly improved you, like just like
Well, yeah, but
dedicated 100% practice all the time. It can have even like diminishing returns because you get burned out. Well, go ahead. I think what they were trying. Oh, you were gonna say something.
Yeah.
I think what they were trying to say mostly was just that it's like too simple of like a thing. It's like life, like real life is more complicated than that. Certain people learn stuff faster or better than other people. Nothing's impossible. You can become like great at something, but like you're never gonna become a master at something just by doing 10,000 hours of practice. Of like dedicated practice. Like that's not the only factor involved. And
Well, did that guy say that was the only factor involved? I mean, because if you think like 10,000 hours,
mm-hmm.
which is a year and some change.
He was basing it off of.
I'm just saying, like that seems like that's like a lot of time to get good at something.
Yeah, no, for real.
I
yeah.
mean, what constitutes a master?
I'll have to look at the article because it
I'm not saying that's.
Well, no, like it has like a definition, and honestly, I don't like full disclosure. I don't think that they use the term master. They use like a different term. It's like world class or something like that. But they were the guy was basing it off of the fact that like the Beatles and some other famous like artist or musician had spent like 10,000 hours like practicing and like playing shows and stuff like that before they had gotten famous to make themselves world class. Like that's what they had done.
The Beatles aren't world class musicians.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like, so I think like the phrase has been changed in like popular like culture to say like master at something. To master something you have to do it for 10,000 hours. And I think the original guy's thing was more like to be as great as like someone like the Beatles and stuff like that. You have to practice for 10,000 hours of performance and like writing songs and stuff like that and learning your instrument. So I'll have to go into it more because like I realize now, bringing up the conversation, that I didn't have enough data. But basically, there was about like I think something like 81 studies, or it was less than that. I think it was more like 15 studies. I don't know where I'm getting the number 81 from, but there's a bunch of studies that were done that basically had proven what the guy's phrase was specifically, that that his remedy for becoming world class was not wholly true. And
yeah, but why would people take that as face value anyways?
well, because he was like a pop, like you know, people like stuff like that. Like, oh, 10,000 hours. You know, if you're 10,000 hours, that means, you know, I like people take shit like that in face value all the time, probably.
Well, I mean, for some people that's true though.
Yeah. So I'll have to look at it again, like, because they had a lot of different factors that they brought up to disprove what it was that he was saying specifically. Also, who knows? Maybe the article was written badly.
Stop downbeating, dude.
I know. I know sometimes.
Like, I feel like if I dedicated 10,000 hours to Smash, I would be pretty good. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we've only dedicated like,
Also, people.
what, maybe not even 500 hours yet? Maybe
No.
1,000 hours?
Over
maybe?
1,000, I think. Well, no. Trying to think here. I did the math one time to see how many hours of like footage we have just online, and then I think I think I'd come up with like somewhere around 500 hours of Smash. I had it in my notes, but then my notes just like deleted themselves, so that's a whole other fucking problem. Also, people, though, were saying that, like, people in the Smash community talk about it all the time, like, practicing by yourself or whatever is like not how you become, like, super, super good, you know? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, fucking hell. I don't know if, what the 10,000 hours thing constitutes as. Like, is it constitute as, like, you know, like dedicated practice? Or is it constitute, like just
I think
doing
just
the
in
thing.
general.
Just doing the thing. Just doing the thing that like that makes sense. And like if you vary it up and it's dedicated and it's like you're constantly trying to improve at every moment that you do, versus because like I mean I have proven that if you don't like actually try to improve at something, you're not going to get better. You can just play something or like do something you know, like casually and never get better than what you are, you know? Because you're not like actively trying to like, you know, ask questions and solve problems the whole time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what you're always like asking questions and solving problems like every time you play. And like now I'm doing that more often, but before we played probably months and I never like the amount I grew was like very small.
There's a point where I was just destroying you all the time.
Yeah, I know. And like I didn't really have much of an
anything.
ego about it because I just wasn't really trying. I was just playing like what if. I mean, sometimes I would get mad, right? But there at the beginning, like, it took a lot more to, like it took a lot more getting killed to, like, really, really frustrate me. And now, like, I get a little bit more frustrated if I'm losing just, like, you know, more than usual, which is, like, we're pretty half and half most times now. Sometimes it feels like week by week. Like, one week you'll be better than me, and another week I'll like, I mean, not so much. I feel like you have larger leaps than I do, but you're just more consistent. What?
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't know what I don't know what my like fingers were doing, but I tried to. I'm pretty sure I threw in an up B somewhere in there.
Uh-oh. Ice mode's coming.
Oh, you didn't do the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. We haven't. I feel like sometimes we should like play like some of these more fun levels just for fun. Like I don't know about having a separate series or maybe just doing like 1 or 2 episodes of the week like that. But I had said it before. I feel like it would be worth it to have a series where we literally just play on like custom maps. Just to react to them, just to see what's out there. You know? I feel like that would be entertaining. Oh, another controversial thing that I read the other day. Rolling Stone did 500 greatest albums of all time a while back. I think you have that book, actually. And has Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band as like number 1 of all time or whatever. And they actually got a ton of shit because the majority of the artists in there were Anglo-American.
So what?
Male. And Anglo-American, male, and like basically just like classic, like what seemed to be classic rock music mostly, or stuff of that sort. And so people were saying that it wasn't varied at all, and it was like not a very good list to have. You know, besides the fact that like greatest or whatever is subjective, you know, unless they're doing it by, you know, unless their metric is their effect on society, then that's not subjective at all. That you can look at that and see, you know. But this guy had come up in response to the criticism. A guy who used to work for Rolling Stone wrote, I guess released a book called "Kill Your Idols," and then there's like a subtitle that I don't remember what the subtitle was. It's called "Kill Your Idols," and it's like 34 essays or so where a bunch of more modern, because, well, by the way, the people that judged it were like kind of older music critics and stuff like that, and select artists. And so he took a bunch of like more modern at the time music journalists and stuff like that, and had them write a bunch of essays basically criticizing some of the older albums that were considered to be like some of the best of all time or whatever on the list. I said all that because you need to have some of that at least. For this guy basically wrote an article tearing apart Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And it was pretty interesting. I think some of what he was saying was a little bit edgy. Like he was trying to be edgy with it, you know? Because I think that goes with like anything where somebody's like criticizing something like really badly. But he does the same. He actually has the same tone as that guy who did on Reddit who was talking about like why your main sucks. He has a similar tone with obviously with less cuss words and all that. But like basically is like, let me tell you why Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band actually sucks as an album, and how it has how he didn't think, he couldn't understand why it was such a cultural phenomenon at the time, or even the fact that it might not have been as much as people were saying it was. And he compares a lot of the songs in that album to songs that, like previous songs that the band had done that were similar or of a similar vein, and talking about how those songs that they had previously done were generally better. And
like what?
Let me think of one example. He was talking about Strawberry Fields versus Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and how he had said that comparatively the two were kind of a similar vein, where like
no, they're not.
I'm just telling you what he said. Where they were both kind of like a psychedelic kind of vibe with like a similar mood, and how for the two psychedelic song, between the two, Strawberry Fields was like a more like realized song, and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, according to him, sounds kind of awkward in a lot of its changes, and sounds
because it's in a fucking weird time. It's in 3/4.
No. He talks about like the weird timings and how the weird timings like seem like needless and like
what?
What is it? Like
contrived?
Yeah, contrived. Like they were just doing it just to make it weird.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Oh well. I kind of partially agreed about some stuff and like didn't agree with other stuff. Some of the stuff he said was kind of true, but I feel like he was trying to pick it apart. But he talks a lot about like the cultural effect of it, and
Well, I don't understand how these people, they're going to be like, well, all the top 100 or whatever were a bunch of Anglo-Saxon Americans. Well, it's not like we make all the music.
well,
I'm
like,
just saying, like, okay, how many freaking
I
South
don't know where,
African
like,
bands do you know that are super famous?
yeah, that
None.
had like the same
you know
cultural
why?
effect.
Because they don't give a shit.
Well, no, I think it's less than that too. I think it's obviously just because those people weren't, you know, people in other countries, bands in other countries, German rap groups or whatever, just aren't in the public eye. You know, they could be like the best shit in the world, and we'll never know about it. You know, and that's just the truth. So like, if you're talking about something that had like a huge cultural impact, then yeah, you know, a lot of Anglo-American fucking shit had a huge cultural impact because that's what was in the public eye. I wonder.
Not only but you know, we put like a big deal on music and.
Yeah, like we had a big fucking.
I mean, so do the
focus.
British. That's like saying, "Oh, I get like that's stupid."
Yeah, like
it's not our fault that there's not enough minorities in the music. You know what I mean? Or
yeah. Well,
whatever.
Yeah, especially it's not the list maker's fault. Yeah, you know, it's not the guy like who just was looking at history and being like, "Oh, this is you know what was really good and popular and you know had a big cultural impact." You know, which is funny because like I'm pretty sure in that list there's probably Jimi Hendrix in there.
Yeah,
Chuck Berry.
exactly.
So like that's not Anglo-American, you know?
And you know, it's not like we're ashamed to call them the fathers of rock and roll. Not Jimi Hendrix, but Chuck Berry. Or anything like that.
Well,
That's
yeah,
so fucking stupid.
or we're not ashamed to call Jimi Hendrix like a guitar legend.
Fucking, yeah,
you know?
a savant.
Or like Jimi Hendrix did like a ton
prodigy.
for music anyways. Like
and he killed himself.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he killed himself, but
he was only active for 4 years. Did you know that?
that's insane.
4 years.
Because if you listen to his other albums, besides like I guess all the albums have like one or two songs that are really. There's one particular album that has like a lot of what music we still listen to today on it. But he was like the first artist to record to have a recorded version of like phasing, like a phaser in music. And he had like a stereo, like a wide stereo effect that he was using to do it. And like it was like the first like he like pushed music like technologically even. Like I hadn't even realized until like I was just like curious one day and looked it up, you know. But yeah, so I digress basically. The guy went into it. It might be an interesting read if you wanted to like partially raise and partially go, well, I mean maybe, you know, the whole time basically is what you're doing. But he basically just talks about how, like, oh, well, a lot of people talk about how Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band was, like, this huge technological feat with like, the way that they had recorded and, like, done the mix and masters and all that. And then he had stated that a lot of the stuff that they had done that was supposed to be, like you know, super impressive, they had already done on previous albums. And, like maybe I could see that. And then he was talking about how it was the album that like pushed music the most in that time period. And then he brings up how the Beach Boys had Pet Sounds that had already done a lot of stuff people were giving credit to Sgt. Pepper's for doing.
Like Pet Sounds and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is like apples and oranges.
Well, yeah, but I think specifically what he was talking about was just their effect on like the technology and music and like stuff like that. So I could kind of, I don't know, I really don't know like how much people actually say that Sgt. Pepper's was like. I mean, they did a lot of crazy stuff. They made like the famous, they made a guitar sound like a piano and a piano sound like a guitar. Well, why wouldn't you just play the guitar or the piano? Well, why? I mean, like, why not do that? I didn't think that was gonna hit you.
I didn't think that was gonna hit me either.
But like, I don't know how much of it he was like blowing up to make his point seem more, credible. But I think the point of the book was to try to like demystify some of the like the attempt, wasn't to be like overly critical in like a douchey way. It was, I think the original intent was to just like show that some people, some older critics or whoever might have some kind of rose-tinted glasses compared to what people are doing nowadays in music and all
what
that.
The fuck are people doing nowadays?
I don't know. I mean, Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, Black Eyed Peas are good. No, like Black Keys and stuff like that. But they also
But they're not doing anything new. They're fucking literally playing the blues.
Their roots revival is what they are. Which is so they're a revival. They're basically just re-experiencing what has already been done, and for the most part. And I like their style or whatever, but I don't feel like they're doing like like you were saying, like anything like especially overly impressive changes. Also, the book came out in 2003, so it's not like they would have even mentioned Black Keys then. So yeah, it was interesting to read about. Kind of like, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe that happened kind of scenario.
What happened?
Just like the whole thing. Them coming out with a list.
It sounds like some shit that people would do nowadays.
Yeah. And it was 2003, which is weird to think about because, like, I don't remember, people being as crazy about stuff like that then as they are now, it seems. The trick with the neutral B, I found, is you got to use it when you know the other person is not going to be able to do things like grab you, to interrupt it. You have to use it when like in some form they're beyond the point of no return in some way, because it takes so long. Like, that at least if somebody's like lost themselves in some kind of loop with their own attacks, you could probably get away with it. But like if you're just in front of me and I just like use it, you'll just grab me or do that. That's actually really weird. How did you get that off and kill me when I have like?
It must go over it.
There's a threshold? I thought that like try it again. Oh, try it again.
You also at high percent.
Yeah. Okay, that's crazy. I guess there is a threshold. That's good to know. That means like, no matter how safe I feel. Also, you probably had rage too, didn't you?
I had rage right there.
Yeah.
Still on my same stock.
Like no matter how safe I feel with a lot of different people's moves like that, like charge shot, Samus or something, a lot of that seems like. Did I play Samus at all today?
Not in Smash 4.
Oh, I should have. I need to start like narrowing down a little bit more. Well, like, and I'm not saying that like, oh, I feel like I need to like I kind of want to. Like, I have certain ones that I want to prioritize. So you just start actually like prioritizing them. Who in the list are you seeing as something that might be more permanent in Smash 4 right now, Matt?
I don't know.
I was gonna pick like 5, and that seems like a high number. But there's a lot of characters here, And then I feel like through playing them, I would eventually find one that like I would stick with more than others, or a couple that I would stick more with others. And like before, I kind of had 5, but then I've since switched it up still a little bit more.
I don't hardly play anybody that I used to play.
I don't know why you don't play Zelda more often.
I don't know.
Damn it! I was gonna switch to Samus.
Well, here, switch to Samus real fast. Will be last game.
White Samus looks cool. Makes me want to read some of the other articles about the other albums, but I had to like buy the book. Only that first one was like available online. I mean, I could probably find it somewhere. Oh, this song! It's that song that sounds like
Page Master
and Final Fantasy VIII. Okay, so obviously that's not gonna work.
I'm dead. So stupid.
Oh God. And then the guy was talking about She's Leaving Home, and how he thought that it was like dumb that they had written a song from the parents' point of view or whatever about a kid leaving home, because it wasn't very rock and roll or something like that. And then he brought up how some people were saying that he was trying to bridge the gap between like generations, like John Lennon and like the group themselves. Like they weren't trying to
This guy
push
sounds
away
like an idiot.
older people. They're trying to bridge the gap, which makes sense, right? They were trying to just make music for everybody.
All right, last game.
Yeah. And then he was just like, it's oh man, like you know, the Rolling Stones would have said you know, something like, oh, they would have like, and he like said something like, obviously like you know, male like ish, you know, like classic, oh, I have sex with her, you know, like some like bullshit thing, or instead of
I really don't know what you're talking about anymore.
well, because the guy was criticizing them for making a song from the parents' point of view about a girl leaving home in the 60s, where he would have expected them to make a song instead, you know, justifying it in some way instead, because that's more of a rock and roll thing to do, like leaving home and like, you know, going and experiencing life and all that, and how the Rolling Stones would have made a song that was more rock and roll by talking about how she would have left home and then they would have like defiled her in some way.
But
that's like literally what he's like what
the Beatles aren't the Rolling Stones. I don't know. This guy.
I guess he was trying to compare them by saying the Rolling Stones would have been more rock and roll about it.
What's to say rock and roll? Has this guy ever written a song in his whole life?
I don't know. We'll have to
Is
look him
Bon
up.
Jovi not rock and roll because he writes about other shit? What
Yep.
a fucking idiot.
The guy lacks perspective, and he was apparently a modern critic at the time. Probably still is. Now he's probably considered to be like if he's still in the business, he's probably considered to be some kind of like, you know, like real critic now, you know? Because that's just what happens. Yeah. I mean, he's like literally just doing like being like anti the album for the sake of it. Some of his stuff probably like makes sense, like, but I don't feel like he had as much going for his argument as he was trying to make it out to be, you know? Because like, and of course people like, oh fucking people will build things up that they remember to be really great because they were really great, you know? But yeah. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button. If you want to see some more, subscribe. See you guys next time.
Peace.